Hi guys, it's Frugal Gal here, and you're probably wondering, what is she showing us? Well, I decided I'm going to have another auction, and I'm going to have it over on my Facebook group, Vintage Wear Today. If you're not a member, please go over there and ask to join. You'll answer like 2 questions, and you'll be right in the group. And the reason before anybody asks why I will do the auction over there is because on YouTube, if I try to do it on here on my YouTube channel, it will be really blurry and you won't be able to see anything and it pixelates and it's just so bad. So much clearer when I do it on my Facebook group. Now, when am I going to do this auction? I don't know. I might pop on tomorrow. If I do and you want me to notify you before I come on, go ahead and drop me a comment below and say, hey, notify me. It probably will be in the afternoon, not at night. I might do it separate. I might do an hour in the afternoon, an hour at night. But what I'm saying is this isn't going to be like one auction, then I'll bill you. It'll kind of be like I just did my brooches, where I talk with my hands, so I might as well put them out here. Where I let you guys come to like an auction. I have like an hour here, an hour there for a couple days, and then I'll, put it all together to save you guys on shipping. And most items that I'm putting in this auction, I'm gonna start the opening bid at $1. Yeah, $1, because I need to get rid of stuff. And because I have stuff to open that's been sitting around here, I have a cup of coffee over here, sitting on top of a box that I have had, say, for weeks, that I haven't opened. Excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink of coffee. That's good. And I really want to open it, but there's no way because I don't want to just be putting jewelry everywhere. So I thought, well, while I do this, why don't I just kind of chit-chat with you, tell you what's been going on in my life, and you guys maybe don't care. You can mute me if you don't care and just look at the pretty jewelry. While I bag up this jewelry, and I'm going to do a little different, I usually put the lot number and then like put the name, and then I just randomly started at a price. So I'm going to do it different where I'm going to make a bag for the stuff I started at $1, stuff I started at a quarter, stuff that I started at $1 or $2, like that. Hey, you're a reseller of jewelry when you have a big old pile of sandwich bags. Am I right? Am I right? Give me a high five. Sorry, didn't mean to hit you in the face. Okay, so this isn't even all my jewelry, guys. So let's get going on this. And the reason I'll be able to do an auction is because I've been having some health problems that I haven't shared with everybody. I've shared with a couple people in the jewelry community. And I don't want to ever seem, that's an Avon necklace, okay. So there's an Avon necklace that'll start at $1. Like I'm coming off whining because I have a lot of health problems, but I'm not dead. I'm above ground, not below ground, so let's not complain. But the reason I couldn't sit here and do an auction for like a lot of hours like some people do or can do is because I've been having hip problems. And I've been having hip problems for a couple years now, at least a year and a half. And I thought it was a chiropractor issue, and I really would rather go do something naturally before I go to the doctor because I'm on enough medication. So let's see, let's do a sandwich bag. I went to the chiropractor, kept thinking my hip was out, so I'd go get my hip popped in my back and my neck, whatever. And I think, oh, did it help or did it not help? And I think, would fool myself into thinking, yeah, it did help. But it just kept getting worse to the point where I was limping really bad and have to use my cane more. And it was hurting to push the gas pedal to drive. I was relying on my mom to drive more. So that's going to be our $1 starting bid bag, one of them. And so I thought, well, this isn't working. And my mom was really after me. You have got to go to the doctor. So the next time I had my appointment, like months and months ago, I went to my regular doctor and told him about it. And he said, well, he kind of examined me and he moved my leg and my hip around, and he was saying, well, if you were saying it hurt this place, I would think it's bursitis, but you're telling me your pelvis hurts too, so it might be something else. So let's get an x-ray. So we got an x-ray, and what turned up on the x-ray was a 2 centimeter lesion / tumor that was on my right femur. This is my right hip. these aren't going to start $1. I'm going to start these at a quarter. And so let's get another bag to start a quarter. So he said, he recommended that he put in a referral for me to go see, not to see, I'm sorry, to go get an MRI. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I am highly claustrophobic. I was never claustrophobic in my life. Even when I was in my 20s, I went to Israel, and there's a place called the Western Wall, which some people call it the Wailing Wall, but it's really insulting. You might not know that. Little like, the more we know, star going across the screen. Is if you call it the Wailing Wall, it's an insult to the Jewish people, because they call it that because the non-Jewish people call it that because the Jews do stand there and they rock back and forth while they're praying. So they don't like it and make sounds. So it's really, the official name is the Western Wall. But anyway, the Western Wall is someplace that has crevices in it, and you can put, but the tradition is you roll up a prayer and you put in there, which I did. And so behind the wall, there's a big place where those go and they gather them up. I can't remember where they take them. But anyway, there's a place where you can walk behind the Western Wall. And we did that. And we walked through there. And it's so narrow that in some places you have to turn your body, like this to get through. And I wasn't claustrophobic at all. That's my point of telling you that. I wasn't claustrophobic there at all. But I think as I've gotten older, and you have more life behind you have more experiences behind you, more traumatic things happen to you. Your nerves get shot. So first time I was scheduled for an MRI was for my shoulder before I had my shoulder surgery. That's going to start at a quarter. And I even went all the way to St. Louis, which was like a 2-hour drive for us. And, I got in there and I was crying, and I had such a bad panic attack, and I tried to do a closed one before that. I couldn't. So they ended up having an arthrogram, which is where they stick a needle and you do an x-ray at the same time. I was so bad at the point that I couldn't even have anything close to my face. Like, I don't know how I've got through this time having a mask on my face, but anyway, all these are starting at a quarter that I'm showing you right now. That one isn't, because I've been told that this is a really good imitation amber, I think. But it's not amber, but it's imitation. But that'll start, not at a quarter. But anyway, let's fast forward back to the story. Sorry, I'm getting off key. But I gotta tell you backstories. I gotta tell you a story. Okay, anyway, so let me take another sip of coffee. Get yourself a cup if you need one. We're gonna be fireside. I don't have a fireside. I'm hot enough. I don't need, no, not hot like woohoo, like, I mean hot like whoo. Okay, anyway, so that's when I knew I was claustrophobic. So when he said, I'm going to recommend you for an MRI, I was like, I can't do an MRI. Don't make me do an MRI. Can I try to do an arthrogram on my hip? They're like, no. I said, okay, all right, let's do it. So I told him I'm severely, claustrophobic. You're going to have to do it. This is an interesting necklace. It's older. Sorry, that at a quarter. You're going to have to do it. Give me something. They said, okay, we'll sedate you. So I went to get my... We're going to do these wire wrap ones, too, for $1 starting bid. I've had a couple of them look the same. Anyway, so I went to do it. I had to go to do it at the hospital. Do those two at $1. Oh no, we'll start those at a quarter. Sorry, I'm on the quarter bag. Quarter, starting at a quarter. All these nice earrings. Jen Layton earrings, quarter bed. Not yet though. You gotta wait. Anyway, I went over there, and I had to do it at the hospital in the next town over. And I'm still picking out quarter stuff, so if you see me hold it, I'm doing a quarter. Ooh, quarter. Tweety bird. And so I went over there. Is that one broke? Nope, that one's not broke. They got me ready and everything, and the anesthesiologist came in, and I thought I was going to be like out, like, sedate me like surgery, man. No, he comes and goes, now, we're not going to sedate you all the way. You'll still, beware. I'm like, I'm going to freak out. I'm just telling you right now, and when I get mad, I'm sorry, guys, I get mad. I get like when you do really what happens if somebody lies to me. I hate being lied to. I get really like upset, like very much upset. These cool clip-on earrings are gonna go in for a quarter bid. Our quarter bids are getting full. Anyway, so let's get the dollar bid bag out. Where did I put it? So they took me back to the room, and immediately, as soon as they wheeled me in there, they wheeled me in on a hospital bed into like the recovery, well, like the room outside the room that had the MRI machine in it. And they said, "Can you walk over there?" I said, "Yeah." So I walked over there, and as soon as I went in the room, I got really anxious, and I sat down on the edge of the bed, and immediately what they did, I guess they were in a hurry. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm going to put in the dollar starting bid bag. They gave me a pair of those spongy earplugs, to put in your ear so you can't hear nothing. And I'm not kind of person like I want to be aware and know what's going on. So I didn't like that. I put those in, and then she's like, lay down with, I thought they were going to put me in feet first since it was my hip. I don't know why I thought this. She said, lay down with your head down here. And I'm like, oh no. And as soon as, and the anesthesiologist is standing there, he's like, and he told me beforehand, I'll talk you through this. If you have any problems, I'll be right there. Before I put the contrast in, I'll tell you, whatever. So, this is going to go in the quarter. So I was real, he could tell I was upset. He goes, maybe I better start giving you your sedation. I'm like, yeah. So I lay down, and another guy real quick in my face is like these big, huge, like Bose speaker, headphones. And I'm like, I'm not putting those on. No, I do not want that on my head. And he said, ma'am, you have to because this will damage your hearing. So I took him from him. I put him on. I lay down. They put me in there. Guys, okay, I was not sedated. I did not go out. I was there for the whole thing. I just kept telling myself, keep your eyes closed, Melissa. And I said a prayer, and over the speakers would come this voice saying, the next scan will take 1 minute. And I would count down from the 60-point mark, for 1 minute. And I do that. And then the next scan will take 2 minutes, and I'd count down. The next scan will take 3. I'm like, oh, and they had told me it would take like 35 minutes. So at the end, like I was clenching my fist over here by like this because I was so like, oh, I'm ready to get out of here. And I added up all the minutes in my head. I'm not good at math in my head. I'm just not. I'm good at math, but not math in my head. Here's a Monet, vintage Monet, and we're gonna put that. It's a really, really long multi-stranded necklace. And I'm going to put it in a separate bag. We're going to start that out at $2. So you're going to start a Monet out at $2, Melissa? Well, yes, I am. So, sorry. Quit your drink. I told you about that. So anyway, I added it up, and it was about the 45 minute mark. And so it's time for me to get out of the machine. And they said, okay. And they start moving me out of the machine. Well, the guy did not talk me through it. He did not answer any questions. He did not tell me when he was going to put the contrast in. I didn't know any of this. He didn't help me through it at all. He was quite rude, actually. And they got me out of the machine, and they have a new thing where they didn't have to like have you get off that table and get on the other one. They just slid you onto the next table. My mom saw me coming down the hall, and later she said, I knew the look on your face, and you weren't talking to me, that you were very upset. You were mad. They took my blood pressure, y'all. It was like 268 over 100 something. They're like, oh, ma'am, is there something wrong? I'm like, I'm mad. Leave me alone. And so, yeah, I was mad. But anyway, I ended up, I got referred to an orthopedic doctor, actually a sport medicine orthopedic doctor. This is an interesting wired wrapped with all these chips in it necklace. This is going on the dollar bid. And I went and I got referred to him after the MRI was read, right? So I went today, actually, to him. Now, I remember back in the day, my mom told me, you're getting older when the doctors are younger than you. It's happened, y'all. This guy was not even 30. I know he wasn't 30. He was good looking, but he wasn't 30. But okay, I digress. He was really nice guy. He really was. He got me up on the table, and he went over. He examined me, and then he went over my MRI with me. He said, you do have a calcified lesion, on your femur, but it's not a cancerous tumor, so thumbs up on that one. That's me saying that, but he said, oh, that's good. Hold on, I'm taking a drink of coffee. And this little Vogue, still on its new on card, is going in here for $1 bid. And so is the Avon necklace. So he said that. He said, they didn't do the MRI that I like. And I'm like, oh, don't go to the doctor. Don't go to the doctor. I don't want another MRI. But he's like, I wanted them to do it where it would have shown more up on your, like, here's your hips. Here's your hips, here's your finger bones, where it showed me more up here because I have a feeling you might have pulled a ligament up here. I'm like, oh, wonderful. He said, if not, because I would think it was just bursitis, like my regular doctor thought, because he said, but when I pushed your leg this way, you said it hurts in your pelvis area. And I said, yeah, sometimes it does. So, going in the dollar bidding bag. And I said, yeah, sometimes it does, it just depends. So he said, okay, so what I think, you might have some bursitis in your, there's a couple of brooches that are going to go in the dollar bidding bag. But you also might have a torn ligament, and then if it's just in your pelvis area, that would be like, some bursitis down there too, or the tendonitis causing it, that calcified tendonitis, radiating up into your pelvis. So what we're going to do, he said, is we're going to give you which I had already researched this. Before I go to any doctor, I researched what possibly could be my treatment for things. Isn't that cute? Oh, it's signed. Oh, guys, this is a Dangcraft. Oh, you know what, guys? I promised you to put it in there for $1. It's a Dangcraft. It's great. I'm going to still start at $1. Yeah, you know it. Okay, anyway. So I told him, he said, what was I on? I can't remember. So what I'm going to do is a guide. I always look this up, so I knew what he's going to say, basically. He says, is an ultrasound-guided injection of a steroid. It's called, like, Kenalog or something. I don't know. It sounds like Kellogg cereal, but it's not. That's how my mom told me to remember it. I said, yeah, I understand what you mean because I've had, steroid shots. I had them in my arm before I had my rotator cuff fixed. Okay, so he said, you understand, And he said, we're going to give it to you in your gluteus maximus because that's where I had the bursitis. Gluteus maximus is a fancy way of saying your butt. I'm like, fine. Fine by me. He said, well, he explained to me, I'm going to rip I had shorts on that they gave me, like paper shorts, and I'm going to rip it. I'm going to, and we're going to guide the ultrasound over. What they do is they take the ultrasound little wand thing, they guide it over there, and then they have to, when they put the needle down there, which is about this much far into you, they, move it around. And of course, my mom had to leave the room because I said, I'm fine with this. I'd rather take a shot than take oral medication. And I really would because shots don't bother me. But she would have passed out, so she had to leave the room. So, here's a bunch of brooches we're going to put in for $1 starting bids. I'll show them to you. So anyway, he said everything he was going to do. He said, now, then I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. And if in 2 weeks it's not better, then we'll try the shot in your pelvis area, which is like in the crevice of where, your leg is, which I, kind of personal area there. Don't want to really, I'm like, oh, I hope this one works because you're really good looking and I don't want you there. So anyway, sorry, but no. So these are Sarah Coventry earrings, these right here. So anyway, I'll be in there for $1. So I said, okay, my mom left, and, I got up on the table, and he guided the thing, and he put the needle, he said, he talked to me, I'm cleaning it off, now you're going to feel a poke, and, I did. That shots don't bother me. I'd be in there for $1. Opening bid. I wish I had close these, because I don't want you guys to get poked, and I don't want to get poked. And anyway, so you see that $1 starting bid bag. Oh, there's that little one. This will be a dog. This one's, is this one unsigned? No. This one is, whatever this is. But anyway. I said, okay. He said no, and then he started moving it around. Woo! Because he had to hit, I think he was trying to hit the bursa sac, right in the bursa sac. You have bursa sacs all over by your joints. I actually had my bursa sac removed in my arm and my shoulder when I did my surgery, because that's what they do. What is this, an Avon? Yeah, that's an Avon. We'll put that in the dollar starting bid bag. Anyway, so he did that, and then, he injected it and everything. So that's what I'm going through. So the point of this whole story is I can do an auction now because I can set on my gluteus maximus honker in order to share the jewelry and do the auction. Because when you got your gluteus maximus hurting, that's not good. It's not good. And then you got a lesion, a calcified lesion on your femur bone. It kind of hurts walking. We're going to put these in the $2 starting, because these are Sarah Coventry. Vintage Sarah Coventry. Okay, and so now I can start. I can do an auction. I had to tell you that whole story to do that. You're probably thinking, great. You know what? If you stayed with me through this whole thing, if you stayed with me, right? And you watched it till the end, because I'm getting ready to stop. And I'll have more videos of me putting these together. Might get one up before tomorrow, I don't know, but I'm going to have some. If you stayed with me till the end, and you listen to my story, and you can tell me where I got that shot, where'd I get that shot, so I can sit down, you will win this brooch. No purchase necessary. YouTube has nothing to do with it. I will ship it to you. It is a beautiful brooch, not signed. Isn't that pretty? Even kind of looks like amber, don't it? Hey, is that amber? Does have stuff in it. Well, if it's amber, then that's a blessing to you. You will win that if you can tell me where I got my shot today. So I hope you enjoyed my story I shared with you, and I hope you will come to my auction tomorrow. Just be on the lookout. Leave a comment down below if you want me to notify you via like Facebook Messenger. Go over there and, join my group Vintage Wear Day and whatever, y'all. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for joining me. Thumbs up. And whoever puts in the comments first where I had my shot today wins this brooch. And you have to spell it right, because I used to be a teacher, so y'all got to spell it right. So if you put it down there and it's not spelled right, I'm sorry. It's got to be spelled right. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Thumbs up, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I'm coming on, and leave a comment down below. Bye.